I got big news. I quit my job. Take that job and shove it. And why? Because I got injured on the job.
No, that's not
and
it.
I decided to sue them bastards.
No.
That's not true.
Somebody decided he was a mountain biking master who
Hold on.
met a tree that wasn't nice.
Okay, so I will get to the job.
Welcome to the podcast, by the way.
Minute, but you're probably wondering about this. I was riding my new mountain bike, or new to me anyway, and did that yesterday, and I took a turn and it went down a hill, and I didn't realize that my new super light mountain bike was as light as it was. It goes really, really fast down hills, and yeah, so I ended up tangling with the tree, and I think I may have fractured the bone right here, my pinky bone, I guess that you would say. In it's really swollen and kind of ugly, but I do have to say that it doesn't hurt as much today, so I'm hopeful that it's going to heal quickly. But in the meantime, I need to wear this thing.
All right. So now you know. That's why he has a brace on his hand.
Yeah, but to the more interesting topic at hand, yes, I did quit my job. For those of you who don't know us, don't know much about us, we are Barry and Darlene Nicholson. The channel is Like There's No Tomorrow, and we've been on the road now for 3+ years.
Yeah, it's
Full time.
Yep, full time. Not quite 3.5, but getting there.
Yeah, and so when we started, we both had digital marketing jobs. That was our career for all our lives, basically. And we actually worked from home since 2006. We were the OGs of home working, I should say, remote workers.
Yeah.
And so whenever we decided to go full-time RVing, it wasn't a huge adjustment for us because we already worked from home. Our daughter went to college, we became empty nesters, and we decided to go RVing. But then Darlene, about 1.5 years into our travels, actually got laid off from her job, but I continued with mine. And I worked at a fine company. It was a remote-based company that was based still in Florida, where we're originally from. And but I had become a little bit, not only just disillusioned with working just in general, because I think working constantly, sitting in our RV, sitting all day.
Yeah.
I will probably say the word sitting a lot in the next few minutes.
And I was just going to paint the picture. I mean, whereas my schedule was a little bit more flexible because I was basically been working the YouTube channel and everything that goes with it for the last year. He was literally getting up, clocking in first thing in the morning, sitting at his desk, working all day, eating a little lunch, going back, just like a regular job. It didn't have, like, I think a lot of people make nomad work or remote work, like you just work whenever, your schedule's your schedule, you can sit by the stream on your laptop, and that's just kind of a bunch of BS. Some people may have that kind of job. This was just a real job in our RV, dedicated space, like a regular job. So
yeah, I mean, in fact, we have a whole other podcast episode. We call this a podcast, but yes, it's a video, but we also take the audio from it and we make it available on the podcast platforms. If you dig podcasts, go check out all the usual suspects and you'll find us. But with that said, we did do a podcast on the topic of remote work because we have worked remotely since 2006. You know, we are pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And one of my big things in that, which I won't go into it fully here because we talk about it a lot there, is when you work remotely, especially when you're traveling around the country in an RV and your boss knows it, the last thing that you want to do is make them think, oh, gee, I wonder if Barry's working, or if he's out, hiking when he should be working, or he's out biking, getting hurt, running into trees when he should be working, or fishing. No, I was very disciplined about always clock. In fact, we would, because it was an East Coast based company, so it was not Eastern time, and we were in Pacific time in California. I'd have to get up, I'd have to clock into work at 5 a.m. Because I didn't want to be treated any differently from any other employee. I wanted them to just be like, well, everybody else clocks in at 8 a.m. and there's Barry.
Yeah.
So,
and I think he was so diligent about that because his income was the main income. It was the given paychecks coming. it was really important for him to always be on good graces, with his employer because of that. Because I was taking a risk by starting the channel, we needed that stability. But I will also say it did not give us great benefits. So that actually, I think, will come into play a little bit as he explains why he was willing to make the leap that he made.
Yeah, I mean, Darlene, for those of you, again, if you don't know our backstory, she did about a year and a half into the, into our full time journey. She did get unexpectedly laid off. We honestly were like, wow.
Yeah,
we
didn't see that coming.
we thought that she was going to be, oh, you're fine. We knew the company wasn't really doing well, but since she was the head of marketing, she thought, wow, well, they're not going to let me go.
Yeah.
Wrong. But she also had the benefits. She had our insurance, which was pretty good looking back on it. And so, even though I worked it wasn't a large company by any stretch. I think at the time when I first hired on, I was one of like 20 employees. And then it grew to maybe around 30, 35. But they didn't have health insurance. So when Darlene lost her insurance, in fact, we went through a spell there where we had zero insurance. And then we got this indemnity plan thing. And that's when Darlene had her terrible accident last year by falling off the side patio, which some people, funny enough, they didn't maybe not recognize our channel name, but when I say, "Oh yeah, I remember that lady that fell off the side patio with a collar on her neck," everybody saw that video. Oh, that's your wife. Oh, how's she doing? Is she okay? It's funny, not funny, how much that actually happens in real life. Yeah, it's happened numerous times in the last month. People know us by that. But anyway, so
having said all that, that's kind of why. Yes, Barry's job was really important, but he wasn't getting benefits, and we have since then figured that part out. So it gave us even more cause to go, okay, what do we need to do for him to be able to leave this job?
Hey guys, I wanted to break in here real quick and tell you about an amazing event that's coming up that we're super excited about and wanted to share with you. It's the Escapees Resort Getaway, November 3rd to the 7th of 2025, and it's happening at Canopy Oaks Luxury RV Resort in Lake Wales, Florida. Now, unfortunately, Barry and I won't be able to make this one, but don't let that stop you. We really wanted you to know about it because this is exactly the kind of thing that makes this lifestyle so special. Meeting your people and getting out there and doing experiences together. The Escapees events have been absolutely essential for us on the road. So you might be wondering, what's this Escapees thing all about if you haven't heard of it before? It's an RV club that's been around forever, and they offer some incredible benefits for RVers. And here's the really cool part about this particular event. You don't have to be an Escapees member to attend. They have never done this before, and I am so excited about it. It's open to everyone, whether you're full-time, part-time, or you just love RV travel. But here's where it gets even better. Every single ticket purchase comes with a free Escapees RV Club membership. That's a $50 value right there. And if you're already an Escapees member, you get $50 off your ticket instead. It's basically a win-win no matter what. Barry and I have been to Canopy Oaks before, and this place is really something else. They have the biggest tiki bar I think I have ever seen at any campground, plus pickleball courts, pools, hot tubs. It's perfect for an event like this. The week includes social activities, educational sessions, catered dinners, social get-togethers, and laid-back entertainment under the stars. Look, whether you've been with Escapees forever or you're totally new to this, it's just going to be a really fun way to hang out with people who get this lifestyle, people just like you. And once you get that Escapees membership, whether it's free from this event or if you're already a member, you get access to some incredible benefits. We're talking about discounts at over like 1,200 campgrounds. There are like 25 plus events annually that you can choose to go to. Tons of RV deals on gear, services, and more, all designed to make RVing easier and more affordable. They also offer additional services like roadside assistance and mail forwarding if you want to add those on. We actually use their upgraded domicile service and their mail forwarding service, and it's been a huge benefit for us being full-time. Tickets are limited, so if this does sound good to you, secure your spot early using our special link in the description. And hey, if you get your membership through this event, maybe we can meet up next year at another Escapees event. We're definitely planning on hitting their annual bash and a few others in 2026.
So
we're finally going to break the ice. So what I'm doing is I am coming on and working on the YouTube channel with Darlene full time. And I couldn't be more excited. I mean, we are so stoked. It's just, I mean, it's a dream come true for us. Now, financially, can we do this? You know, because people are like, wow, you guys are making so much money off of your YouTube channel that you can have two full-time incomes off of this. I'm sure that's what you're thinking, because I would be thinking the same thing if you would, you know, the answer is not really.
Yeah. I will say that in our, I mean, we've been married a long time. We've been through many job
I'm old enough
careers.
to always say 30 plus years because I don't remember how many years it actually has been. I just know it's more than 30.
And so, you know, we've taken a lot of big leaps. We've taken a lot of leaps of faith that had us riding high and also had us fall on our face. We've made the good ones and the bad ones. We've been there and done that so many times. But I think that's the thing with us is we're not scared of that. We kind of always have this, let's break it down to the ridiculous. What's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? Okay, what do we do on each occasion? And we're prepared, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, we have savings, you know, we're okay there. We obviously, just like anyone, we don't want to dip into that. But if, as entrepreneurs, which is essentially what we would be, because we're essentially working for ourselves, you know, you have to be able to go, well, you know, if things don't quite work out the way that we want, we'll have to dip into savings to pay for a few bills here and there. And that's okay, because we believe that our game plan moving forward is solid enough, because we believe that, I mean, we've already seen proof positive, and Darlene, to her credit, has worked her butt off. She still works her butt off. You know, we've also made a YouTube or a podcast about this topic of, should I start a YouTube channel? Talked to a guy right outside the RV yesterday that said he was starting a YouTube channel. And I never want to discourage anybody, but I'm also telling you that if you realistically want to do this, quote unquote, for a living, you have to work your butt off. And
becomes your small business.
She's working 50, 60 hours a week on the regular. Part of me coming on board is to hopefully have her cut back on that, but that's going to be almost like a discipline thing for her, that she's going to have to, okay, I'm going to let you do that. And I'm going to go read a book or go to the pool or something.
I'll have to learn how to do that. I don't know. I guess so in my eyes, I've been working my butt off and taking that with the knowledge and the faith that I knew if I could get us to a certain level of comfort, of sponsors, of you guys watching the videos, of us having channel growth, that he could maybe quit his job. And I really wanted that for him. So I was willing to do that level of work. But I will tell you, and I get this a lot, if you just want some side money, that's a whole different way of doing a YouTube channel. So, but it is regardless work.
Yeah, if I could think of lots of other ways to make quote unquote side money that wouldn't take anywhere near as much work.
Because you're going to give up your fun time.
Yeah, and that's, so when we first started the YouTube channel, just period, we debated on whether or not to do it, because like I said, both of us at the time had full-time 40-hour-a-week jobs working from the rig. And we thought, well, that just means that now we're gonna have to work extra hours to work on this YouTube channel. Why? Mm-hmm. You know, so maybe it was a twist of fate. I think it was, that when Darlene lost her job, then it obviously freed up all that time. And, you know, and it also forced us kind of into doing a lot more boondocking, which I could say, you know, because the one thing you can't say when you live in a sticks and bricks home and you have to faithfully pay your mortgage every month, you can't say, well, you know what, we can just cut back on our mortgage payments, or we can just not pay any mortgage payment at all. We can just live for free for a while. Well, you can do that more or less when you're boondocking, and that's what we did for a long time and saved a ton of money. Again, we have lots of videos on these topics. We talk about money a lot because that's a very popular topic. You know, so
I think that lends itself to the lifestyle that you want to achieve by making this move too, don't you?
100%. So we are so excited because it gives us the freedom now to move from spot to spot whenever we want. You know, before we've had to wait until weekends to move. And then, we would try to stay in any given spot at least 2 weeks, because, inevitably the one weekend that you want to go out and go out and do fun stuff, it would rain or it'd be horrible weather, or like right now it is
So hot.
stupid hot where we are. But you can't let that stop you, because it's like our channel's called There's No Tomorrow. You have to go out and do stuff like there's no tomorrow. Like, go ride that mountain bike, by God, beat the tree. But you just got to do it anyway. But then that means on the next weekend, you're pretty much having to pack up and move. And, and a lot of Sunday afternoons, I was driving.
Yeah.
We were setting up.
And then hurrying up to get there, set up so he could work the next day. And that freedom that we'll have now is we can move on a Tuesday if we want to move on a Tuesday. If we want to adventure on a Thursday instead of the weekend, because he's not working. So then we can go out when things aren't as crowded. And really, I think the thing that I'm so excited about this is that I feel like it's going to improve the content that we share with everyone so much more.
Because I am a master video editor. Did I mention that? That is not even remotely close to being true. I'll tell you what I am working on, though, that I do think it would be, because, I kind of want to turn this around to, how does this help me? Well, if you've been a follower of our channel, or if you're just getting started, we do try to do a fair amount of quote unquote teaching content, just because it's kind of in our nature. We like to boss people around.
We like to share our experiences.
Well, we like to share knowledge as we get it, and so we do have a full-time RV living course that we released about a year ago. I can't remember how long it's been, with the goal of, it was such a crazy learning curve to do this, because we had never RV'd before when we started. We had certainly... so we had to learn everything from scratch.
We had never owned an RV. We had never taken care of one, driven one. So we were like, we're learning lessons left and right. And then we got to the point where like, we should share this with people that were in our same shoes, not newbies wanting to make that transition from a house to full-time, or at least a, partial year, kind of thing, and help cut down their learning curve so that it's not so hard, because it was really hard for us.
Yeah, because it's one thing too, because we see now that we live at campgrounds a lot, we see people come and go. We see lots of weekenders come in and go and bring the kids and all that kind of stuff, and we think it's fantastic. But that's very different than full-time RV living, working remotely from the road, all those kinds of things, making sure that you have the, proper insurance, all those kinds of
your
issues.
Mail,
people always ask us, how do you get your mail?
All that, the legalities of finding a domicile address. There's just a lot of juggling, not to mention downsizing your entire house to an RV.
That's a big one. We have that conversation because we meet a lot of full-timers, basically all the people that are left here during the week, because we've been at this campground now for a while. More on that later. But all the people that are left on Wednesday afternoon, they're all the full-timers, right? And so you kind of go out for an evening walk or whatever. You make conversations with people, and the conversations about, oh, when'd you go full-time, blah, 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 yada, yada. And then it revolves around, hey, and we had to sell all our stuff. And everybody's
we had so
like,
much crap.
Oh my God, or we still have a house full of stuff. They're kind of holding out, and they've still got a home full of things. But anyway, so we did release that full-time RV course. If you're interested in that, again, you can go to likethere'snotomorrow.net. Just check out the course button. You can't miss it. Basically, the idea is we walk you through in a video course, but then we also have a component where we have a Facebook group.
Love the Facebook group.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Is just people that have joined the course for a small monthly fee. You get to come in and you get to ask questions. There's no limit to the number of questions you can ask, and it's not just of us, but we do a live Zoom call essentially.
We do a live stream once a month, and then we record like deep dives into questions every week, and then we answer the questions in the Facebook group. And in addition, so it gets you a lot of insights. You watching people who are just getting going. Maybe we have people that are a year or two away from going full time, so they get to experience what the newbies are experiencing, because they're coming in and going, "Oh my gosh, we just left our first campground and this is what's happening and da 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 da. And so it's really a great community to kind of get that support if you're wanting to go full time. So that's a really cool thing that, we're going to continue doing that. We're going to continue developing more courses. So
Yeah, people ask us a lot about boondocking. That's the most popular one for sure. And I know we've been talking about it for a while, that it's coming.
we're going to do it.
We've just been in this weird kind of holding pattern on the east side of the country because of getting the new RV, which we have. We're not going to divulge exactly what it is just yet. And had to sell our old one, which we also have. Long story. But then, so we've just been stuck over here on this. When I say this side of the country, the eastern part of the country, there's just not a lot of boondocking. You can do it, but it's nowhere near as much.
Especially in the summer when it's hot.
Yeah, as
really
easily
hard.
as you can in the west, which is our favorite place to be, truth be known. When you can go up in the mountains, like if it's super hot in the valley, you can go up to 8,000 feet or whatever, and you got to wear a jacket.
Yeah.
That's our kind
That's
of
our
place.
kind of stuff.
Right there. So we can't wait to get back. But when we do get back there, we're going to film this boondocking course. And the good thing, boondocking is a topic that's of interest to lots of people, not just full timers. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's just how do you camp, truly camping. I don't consider plugging in at a pedestal at an RV park to be camping. Just saying. Maybe I'm
Everybody
biased.
has their different ways of doing it, but we like the whole in nature. So helping people learn how to be off grid for 2 weeks or plus at a time.
Yeah.
How does that look? How did the systems work? How do you conserve water and all the things that go into boondocking? How do you find the spots? So we're definitely bringing that to you. And I say this about the courses because that's, with Barry coming on board full time, all of this is going to be much more feasible to continue develop and continue to release information and videos and courses because it's not all on me anymore. Now we can share it.
Yeah, in a big one, kind of my first job, if you will, my first major project is creating a membership. A lot of influencers do Patreon, which is fine. We felt like because of my technical background and my ability to develop websites and develop, I came from a company, frankly, that had a huge membership. And I think we can offer better tools and more usability and actually create a membership program that's going to be very useful to RVers, not just full timers, but to boondockers and everybody in between. We're really excited about creating a true community where we go and do stuff. We may do our own events.
Yeah.
We're actually more interested in kind of partnering with a certain company. Just not, we can't divulge that yet.
Yeah, no, it is something that we get a lot of requests for. Are you going to do meetups? Are you going to, especially boondocking meetups, so we can teach you and boondock together? And that is all stuff we really do want to develop. I think we just have to get to that point. But the membership to me, so I've been in other channels memberships when we first got going. We've been in other memberships, and sometimes they bring value, and sometimes you just get a little extra insights, maybe get access to a Facebook group. And I just really wanted to offer more than just that. I wanted to really give you a valuable tools and insights and things to use. So that is really what his first job is, and he's already working on it. So we're really excited to bring that to everybody.
Yeah. So that's what's coming down the pike. We never would have been able to do this, or I would never have been able to do this if it weren't for you. Yeah. If it weren't for the people who watch this channel, who buy our stuff on Amazon that we recommend.
That's another way we really have felt supported by you guys, because we have a lot of products we use. We have a lot of things that we talk about. And I always try to make it easy to give you those links. Amazon storefront is the easiest way to do that. And boy, you guys go there and shop. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. And
it's not a huge amount, but it adds up.
So if you're ever wondering about, if you do enjoy our content, how you can support us, it's obviously join the membership whenever it comes around. If you're thinking about going full time, invest in the course. And again, this is not so you can quote unquote support us. We're not a charity. We're a business. We're trying to provide you something of value. And we absolutely, I can say without any reservation at all, if you're thinking about going full time in RVing, frankly, I mean, go so bold as to say you'd be foolish not to invest in the course and to stay in the group, because it will give you such a head start, because there's a lot to this full-time RVing stuff. We've talked a lot about it on our channel, the emotional aspects that a lot of people don't talk about. Moving into a small space with your significant other traveling around the country, it ain't all rainbows and unicorns.
What are you saying?
Nothing.
It's the truth. That's what it is. The gosh honest truth. And a lot of people, and I think that one of the things that we felt encouraged by a lot of you guys is that you tell us, you kind of tell it like it is. You kind of, I mean, we're not shy about going there and talking about the hard stuff and talking about the uncomfortable stuff, because we feel like it helps you. And if that's just who we are, it really is just who we are.
But I also don't want to be negative.
No.
It's not about that. It's not about if God forgive us if we ever go on these bents about how junky RV manufacturers are, or how nothing, they don't make them like they used to.
We're not ranters.
God, that kind of stuff just drives us crazy. That's not it.
That's not what we choose to focus on. I mean, you can spend your time focusing on all that stuff, and you become that kind of person. We tend to focus on the solutions, the making light of the bad situation and moving on and finding, squeezing those lemons and making that lemonade. And, that's what we choose to be as a channel, and that's where we're comfortable, because it's how we live life.
But we also want to make our audience aware that if you're watching us, if you're thinking about doing this lifestyle, or if you're just unfamiliar with it, we want to kind of also make you aware of some of the pitfalls that you might run into, certainly emotionally, but then we've talked about things like inclement weather, dangerous situations that we've been in or narrowly avoided. I mean, we've almost been in 3 tornadoes, 2 in one day. And they all happened within a 50 square mile radius of Evansville, Indiana.
And I think when you're new and you're getting going in this lifestyle, you do hold on to a lot of those worries of all the different things you can worry about, and become a worry monster at the beginning, because it's all unknown to you. So that is really why we talk about these topics, is I think the more you know, the more control you have, the more ease you won't fret as much when you're out there. And that's how I was, and I'm still that way. I talk about it all the time. I'm a worrywart. I get super anxious about a lot of things, and that's just how it is.
So but if you break it down to the ridiculous, we're in this.
We're in this for you. We're in it for us.
My mom was asking me, she always says some comment about when are you guys going to move back to Indiana? I'm like, Mom, that's not going to happen. I can guarantee you that, because now we're full-time travelers, because that's now our job, literally. So, but she knows that.
You guys, I have such, not only is there so much we still need to see in the U.S., I would even love to take RVs into other countries and show you what it's like to RV Italy and RV Japan and just all these crazy places that we've always wanted to visit. How crazy would it be to RV there? Now, obviously, we're not going to take this kind of rig in a lot of those countries, but that would be amazing. And so I'm excited about the future of the channel and where we can go and how we can grow, because we'll just be able to bring even more opportunities and insights to you guys as we do it.
Yeah. So I think that's a good place to wrap this up. So we're definitely going to be a lot more free once we can finally get through this buying the new RV, selling the old one phase. This has been more than we want to talk about right here. It's been a
while.
Wow, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But we can't wait to get going and really crank things up this next year and show you some incredible things and show you what's available in this lifestyle.
And if you guys have any insights, comments, suggestions about all the things we talked about today, leave them for us. We read all the comments, and I try to answer all the comments, unless you're a jerk. I always say that. So let us hear from you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.